I'm Eric with MasterPoint at MasterPoint's Broomfield Training Center. Today we're going to be going over the rope transfer and two variations of how to do that. So I'll start off with probably what a lot of people will view as the easiest way to do it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the ropes that we're going to be going to. We're going to want to bring them with us because we can get at the bottoms of all four ropes for this exercise. We're going to start by loading our backup device, in this case our ASAP, onto our backup rope and our descender onto our main rope. Now we have our 2 points of connection. We can get nice and plumb underneath our anchors, get everything nice and high, and just kind of sit. Now we want to clean up this back slack, so we're going to tighten that. Get that nice and tidy. Now we're going to unstow our handle descender for upwards progression. We can take these ropes with us, that's fine, because all of this ground area is accessible. But to keep things tidy, let's try to keep the ropes on the other side. Now I'm going to load that on my main line. So this isn't for safety here, this is just for upwards progression. The descender is our main point of connection, and the backup is our backup point of connection. Now, I'm going to ascend nice and high, just below the anchors on this, because we don't have a whole lot of clearance here. We want to make sure that we're not going to be doing floor is lava on the ground. You do one move on your main, do a move on your backup. Another move on the main, move on the backup. So on and so forth to the top. All right, now that I'm up to the top here, I'm gonna go ahead and I like to personally move my my ropes to where I can get at them easier. Just put them underneath all your gear because you want to be able to get at everything easily. Now I'm going to pull the ropes through the carabiner so I can load them really easily. I'm going to load my new backup. This is a passive backup device, so it's a little different from the ASAP, but still same concept overall. Connect that fully. I like to make sure that my backups are the same color on the ropes that I'm coming from and the ropes that I'm going to, because that just sort of keeps everything nice and organized. And so next I'm going to load my main line. And once again, this is a descender in this version, which it does save you a step, and it just makes staying organized pretty easy in this. And it's less to remember overall. You just need to remember to take an extra descender. So before I start moving outside of plumb, I need to check everything. I would like this back up a little bit higher. Back nice and high. And I'd like my main nice and tight, so that way I'm not dragging my feet on the ground. I'm going to go ahead, get that nice and tight. Before I take off, I don't want to get hung up on my hand descender, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And like I said, it's for progression and not safety. In the other variation of this rope transfer, I basically need to have the handle descender engaged at all times. But in this case, I actually don't need it except for upwards progression. So I'm going to go ahead and just stash it for now. Keep both of these nice and high. My main and my backup on the ropes that I'm going to. And now I'm going to descend into plumb. On my new ropes. So once I'm completely slack on these old ropes, I can start removing things. I like to remove my main line first, because that way I know I'm not taking off my backup too early. Got both of those cleared. Can even stash stuff if I want to keep it extra neat. I want to make sure that my passive backup device is tracking. I'm basically just going to hold the very tip of this little string here. And finish my descent. Easy peasy. All right, this next variation is going to start the same as the other one. Still going to be bringing my ropes with me. But this time I don't have that second descender. Maybe you forgot it. Maybe it's a little too expensive to keep a whole bunch of descenders around. So you've got everything that you need on a standard SPRAT kit to still do this maneuver without having to require 2 descenders. So I'm going to show you how to do that other option. So you still bring the ropes over with you on your carabiner, same as before. You're still ascending on your descender to get high on your initial ropes. In fact, it's going to start exactly the same as before. It just finishes a little bit differently. If you have an ASAP lock, make sure it's not locking on you. Now, when I move these over, I'm actually going to be loading my main rope in my chest descender. Backup rope's still going to be the same. Once again, I picked blue as my main. I'll stick with blue. So now, I need one more thing to make this kosher. Once I move outside of plumb on my main ropes, my chest descender is only worth half a point. So in order to make it a full point, I need to have my handle descender on top of my chest descender. So with the 2 of these in conjunction, this is now a full point. That way, if the rope were to pop out of my chest descender, I still have something controlling my swing besides my backup. So now, I like to scoot a little bit when I'm on my chest descender it kind of just makes everything load really nice, and I can look and see, like here, this isn't a big deal because these ropes can come with you, but I like to, just neaten everything up. Now, these are clear, and the ropes that I'm going to are in a good position as well. So now, I'm going to go ahead and lower myself in the plumb. And again, once I'm plumb here, I can get rid of my old stuff. Go ahead and get a little higher just to be a little more comfortable. Make sure everything's nice and slack here on my old ropes. I don't need those anymore. They are going bye-bye. Cool. Stash this if you want to. It's fine if it dangles too. Now, I need to switch from my chest ascender into my descender, unless I want to descend on my chest ascender, which is a viable option. But it's just a lot easier to just do this last changeover right here into my descender. So I just need to load that, get that nice and tight. You don't want to bring my back up down ever so slightly when I grab this thing. I'm just grabbing the very tip. I don't want to grab the device because that just defeats it completely. Now I'm just grabbing the very tip, just bringing it down to about eye level because I am going to lower myself a little bit onto my descender. But I want to make sure that I'm not hanging on this, and I want to make sure that it's not down below my level with my chest ascender either. Especially with a long lanyard like this, I want to make sure that this is staying level with my sternal connection point on my harness. So now, I'm going to stand up. Notice how I'm grabbing above my handle descender. Now I'm pulling all the slack out, so that way it's just a nice, smooth changeover. You close your chest ascender. Make sure that anything with teeth in it is closed when you're going down. You really don't want these teeth getting hung up on something and causing you issues. Now, when I descend, I'm just going to grab the tip of my backup device. I'm just going to lightly ride both my main and my backup in a nice controlled manner. So that is rope transfer on both two descenders and descender and ascender combination.